Hey peeps, so I'm continuing my work with this XJ650 Turbo, and I've been doing valve clearance check, and what's quite amazing really is that all the valves were within specification apart from that one here, the first intake exhaust. So I'm going to have to remove the shim from under the cam lobe to check what's the size, and then we're going to change the shim to adjust the valve clearance. Now normally what would happen is you would have to remove the camshaft to get access to the tappets and then the shims. But on this old school bike there is a really cool system which lets you remove the shim without removing the camshaft, and to do that you can buy this tiny little tool which cost me £6 on eBay. So here's how this works. You will see here there's this tiny little slot just next to that shim. So what you need to do is you need to turn that slot the other way so it appears over here, and then on that smart little tool there's going to be this bit that protrudes, and that needs to go in that little slot there, and that will allow us to remove the shim. So let me just tell you what you need to do with the camshaft first. So first of all you're going to move the camshaft into a position in which it's going to press on the shim. There we go. So now the shim is fully depressed, and now we're going to insert our tool and secure it in place using this little bolt. Okay, at that point we'll be turning the camshaft with the lobe going away from the tool, because obviously we do not want to crack the head. So basically the lobe needs to go that way in this particular situation, and then the tool will stop the shim there and we'll be able to remove it. So let's try that now. Right. There we go. So as you can see the lobe is facing upwards, and now there's a significant gap there which will allow to remove the shim. So you can see there's a gap between the camshaft and the shim, and now with the use of screwdriver, sorry I'm doing all of that on my own, you'll be able to, well, you should be able to, there we go, see, it popped up, and now I'm just going to use a magnet and pull it out. Here I've got a magnet, and the shim pops out. Alright, so here we have it, the shim is removed, and as you can probably see, or maybe not, there is an imprint on this shim which says, well I know it says 2.80, so basically it's 2.8 millimeters of thickness on that shim. So just to make sure we're in the correct range, let's just have a look with the caliper. 2.8 millimeters. I mean it will show 2.79, this is just basically inaccuracy of the tool, but this is 2.8 millimeters. Now the clearance on this valve was slightly too tight, so I'm gonna order slightly thinner shim, which is probably gonna be 2.75 millimeters. I'm gonna install that one, and that's gonna give us the specified clearance. Right folks, so let's have a look at that. I've resprayed pretty much 80% of the bike. Obviously I'm not a pro when it comes to spraying, but it looks a lot better than before. So I've pulled out the tape from some of the elements, and you know, it looks a lot better than before. So I'm gonna pull the tape from the remaining panels, and I'm gonna put them on, start rebuilding this lovely little XJ. I've also sprayed the engine cases, so they look a bit better now, nice and clean. Sprayed the exhaust. Yeah, I'm gonna spray the mudguard later.